everyone. It's Casey and Owen here with the Underground Circuit podcast. We are here at IndyCar in St. Pete, and we have the honor of interviewing Nolan Allaer. He's an Indy Next driver. He is driver number 11 for HMD Motorsport in the Indy Next series. Nolan, thank you for being here. We're super happy to meet you and get the chance to interview you and everything. So last night we did some light stalking on your social medias, and we saw that you've done multiple sports collabs before. Obviously, your most recent was the Tampa Bay Lightning for this weekend. But we are huge hockey fans, so we love this collaboration and the crossover between the two. Is there any one team that you would love to work with, or like a dream team that you would love to work with again?
Yeah, so I mean, I've done two pretty incredible teams. Like obviously, I've been a huge Detroit Lions fan my entire life, and then obviously I grew up around the Lightning program, so it's pretty cool to have worked with both of these incredible organizations. I'm from Detroit. I was born in Detroit, but we lived down here for 13 years. My dad worked for the Tampa Bay Lightning for 17 years, so. He also worked for the Red Wings, so I make the joke, I'm like Steve Yzerman. Like I go back and forth. Like when I did this debut, I got a lot of smoke online, and there's a lot of support, obviously. But there's a few people that were like, "Oh, you're a Michigander. How could you do that? Like you're supposed to be a Red Wings fan." And it's like, well, not really. Not really. Yeah. I was like, the Steve Yzerman. Like, you ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, that's good.
I do. So obviously, I'd love to work with the Red Wings too, but we'll see what we can do about that. But I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, so nice. It's beautiful. I love it. The helmet and the suit are fantastic. So with our light stalking on our social media, we had read an article that you had played hockey when you were growing up. And you read that hockey was like your entire life and everything, and then you eventually made the decision to commit to motorsports and whatnot. How did you find motorsports? When did you find it, and when was like that moment of, okay, I'm going to go with motorsports?
Yeah, well, so it's funny. So I ended up quitting karting in 2011. I did from 2008 to 2011. I did the Florida Karting Championship Series, so down here. But it was hot. It was miserable. Yeah. And I'd been playing hockey at the time.
Right.
And I was like, why am I doing both of these things? Like, I want to play hockey. Like, hockey is what I really enjoy doing. I don't want to do go-karting. So I stopped karting for hockey. So fast forward, I've played hockey my entire life. I'm on the ice 6 times a week for 2 hours. Regular travel hockey and varsity high school hockey kind of experience.
Right.
2018, I got a car. I'm 16 now, and it's you get your first car and you start loving cars.
Yeah. Right.
One thing I wanted to do, I started sim racing, so the video game. And that actually is what kind of reignited my passion for the sport. So I did a ton of sim racing, and it was a graduation gift from high school to go to the SCCA driver's school. One-time deal. SCCA driver's school is the cheapest form of track time, which is a good way. Like if you're just going to do it once, that's the way to do it, and that's what the plan was. One-time deal. Not going to be a racing driver. You're not going to drive a car again. It's just a fun experience. You like cars, like why don't we do this?
Right.
But I practiced a lot in the sim, and I ended up that weekend being 2/10 off the track record.
Oh my goodness.
So everyone around was like, "Oh, you should look into doing this."
You're good at this.
So we did one SCCA regional, and it went really, really well. And it was like, okay, well, we'll do one more regional. Okay, maybe we do one national, and it all went really well. Nice. But there was a period there where every race I did was like the last race I was ever going to do. It's like, oh, this is. I was like, yeah, it was good fun, but that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
And it kind of blossomed into what it is today. But then as racing became more important, I was like, I'll stop hockey today if I can race cars.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I'm truly meant to do.
Just lit up a spark.
I like it. Yeah.
Do you have any pre-game rituals that kind of came over as pre-race rituals?
No, I mean, hockey players always. It's funny because hockey players always walk into the rink wearing suits and stuff like that. I used to do that for like my first couple races. I'd come in like full suit.
Full dressed up.
I was like, well, why is nobody else doing this? Like, we're here. It's a sporting event. Like, it's game day. Like, why is nobody else dressing up? So that didn't take. So I'm gonna stop doing that. Usually, it's pretty hot outside too.
True.
So, but no, obviously, I'm listening to music a bunch. Kind of the same genre. Just getting in the zone. Yeah, a lot of visualization.
Very nice.
Do you have like any advice for anyone who may be like following your footsteps for making a change like this at what some would maybe say is late in your for motorsport
career?
Well, so go-karting is shockingly expensive. So I don't recommend people starting karting. I say, especially if you're somebody who's not really a young kid or doesn't have the funding to get into go-karting, start sim racing. Like honestly, I've been beaten many times by people on a Logitech G920, like little Xbox wheel and pedals.
Yeah.
That wheel, that Logitech G920 is the reason I'm racing here today. That was my first wheel and pedals. And you don't need to spend a lot on a racing sim to be quick. And there's so many opportunities now to go from sim racing to real life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of my competitors and friends and colleagues I've seen come from sim racing and transition to real life racing and succeed.
I like it. Look at that. I might have a future career in racing.
Okay.
You could, yeah.
I might have a future career. How do you feel? This is your second year in Indy Next. How do you feel coming back to St. Pete with a full year of experience, with this also being your hometown and everything? Like, what's different from last year?
Yeah, I mean, everything's different. I didn't know I was going to get the chance to do another season in Indy Next, so I'm thrilled to be back.
Right.
Last year we knew was a learning year. It was a gigantic leap for us to go from Formula Ford racing, which is wingless, 115 horsepower, to the Indy Next car, which is what it is. So it was a learning year, and I remember vividly in this weekend, we all of our testing had been rained out, so we showed up to this. I remember lifting going down the front straight because it was just too fast. And we had good pace by the end of the weekend. We were only, I think, 3/10 off the fastest lap of the weekend. So there was success in there. But I remember my dad told me before we started the race, just go to the back of the field. Like on the race start, just go to the back. Not worth it. Like there's no point. We need the laps. So we did that. Throughout the year, we progressed a lot. We ended up finishing with 2 top 10s in the final 2 races we were doing on the road courses. So there's a lot of really good testing that we had in the off season. We found a lot of pace over the winter. So, this weekend we have higher expectations.
Yeah.
We want more. It's no longer the time to go to the back of the field.
Right.
We go into turn 1 with a very different mindset this year. We want to win.
Right. It's not an experimentation race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
Like
now is the time.
You're like now, yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. We've one final bonus question for you.
Yes.
It's a total switch up of topics.
Perfect.
How do you balance Indy Next and also studying for a degree in mechanical engineering?
With great difficulty.
Yeah. How late are you up studying? Like,
so late. Yeah. No, sleep is non-existent. Yes. People often say sleep is for the weak. No, sleep is for the lucky.
Sleep is for the lucky.
Yeah. Listen, my locker's filled to the top with engineering homework that I've just been putting off.
Stuffing away.
Yeah, but my professors have been very good about letting me go and do all this. They're well aware. Miami's been well aware of what I've been active in motorsports. So for the past couple of years, they've been good. And now with the transition to Indy Next, it's obviously a higher profile series. They understand the commitments.
Right.
So they've been really good about letting me be late on some things or letting me do some assignments early.
That's nice. Yeah, very nice.
No, it's tough, but it can be done.
Thank you for hanging out with us and meeting with us and everything. And
of course, yeah.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.